Universe Online. I'm Water Tips. Welcome back. I just got finished posting my last video. We talked about the Munitions DPS loadout. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the Munitions Troll Loadout. You know, there's slightly, the loadout I have a few powers are the same, but I'm going to stress, you know, over again, like I said, that, you know, Troller is basically giving power to your group so they don't run out of power, as well as lowering the enemy's defenses. Basically just doing what the rule says, taking control of the battle. There are people, like I said, players that probably do not fully understand the Troller role in some ways. I know that it doesn't seem like it's fairly simple, but there is a lot more to the control role than you might think. And this is what I'm going to say off the bat, is that it's not just giving power. That's a big part of it, but it's also weakening and basically determining which enemy that you're fighting in the raid or whatever your alerts you run with the players goes first. So, for instance, if you're fighting an enemy and you use a certain attack on them, there's attacks that reduces the enemy's defenses, one that reduces their healing ability, one that reduces their damage output, stuff like that. There's a little various icons above the screen that tell you what it does, and I can probably make some more videos on that later on. Anyway, back to the Troll Loadout thing. So this is the Munitions Troll Loadout. So like I said, as I said before, when you go to your stats, there's always going to be a certain focus you have. For this, I'm going to say I want you to concentrate, of course, on superpowers still. Now, if you want to, you can also do the hybrid. Now, hybrid or superpowers is fine. I think that the hybrid is specifically made for the controller, but of course that's something that I would use for a healer role, you know, but it does say that if you read the description, it is good for both a troller, healer, or a tank. So superpowers is just good for damage superpowers. And because the troll power is not really a damage based one like DPS, we're going to go ahead and go with focus hybrid. Now you can choose this one if you like, but I don't think it's really going to be of your benefit. And of course the things you're going to want to focus on are health and vitalization, and I want to say either precision or might and power. Now if you do go with precision, it's going to be focusing mostly on your attacks, your weapon attacks. So keep in mind, if you do that, it's going to be focusing on precision with your weapon attacks. If you want to focus on might and power, that's also good too. But like I said, this role is specifically for powers. So characters, it's going to be giving your people more power in the group, keeping them powered up, make sure they have enough power in the group, and also to reduce enemy defenses and choosing who goes first in the battlefield. So you may want to concentrate more on precision as opposed to might and power, because it's going to be not of your benefit. Anyway, moving on. So as far as the loadout goes, the first power in your loadout we're going to use basically is the multi-net launcher, which gives power. It also shoots various enemies as opposed to the single multi-net launcher, or the regular net launcher. It's a multi-net launcher which strikes various points with a net, and you push triangle to reel them in. It also basically gives people, I think up to 3 people, a certain amount of attack power than usual for a certain amount of time. So that's what that does. And for number 2, we're going to use reload, which is actually a very, very I don't want to say it's exactly fun, but it's a very simple power to use. It's basically just reloaded, which is basically what it does, is you reload your gun to give power to your members as much as you can use it. It doesn't cost that much power to use it, or what do you call it, power points you need, but you just to reload your power in the group so everybody gets enough power. So that's that one. It also increases attack damage for your players in your group for a certain amount of time, and that's basically that one. Next is the smoke grenade launcher, which reduces the enemy defenses, which is basically a smoke grenade launcher, which you shoot, and it actually stuns them too, and it keeps them so they can't really see you, or builds their seeing mobility so they can barely see you and they won't be able to attack you or take much damage out. So it does do a combination of both, lowers the enemy's defenses, and then it also causes to lessen their attacks output damage. And then you got the fire barrel minigun, which also reduces enemy defenses, and that's number 4, which is the 5-barrel minigun. There's also one which is the rocket launcher, which also I think it either lowers their defenses or it actually lowers the healing of the enemies that you shoot it against. And then of course number 5 is survival. That's the same power I think I showed you in the last one for DPS. You want to go ahead and use it again for this one if you like. If you don't feel that survival is going to benefit you much in this, you can go ahead and pick something else, but I do recommend it because as a troll, your damage output is not going to be as much as your power output, so you're going to be taking a lot more damage as usual unless you use the supercharge, which we'll talk about next in loadout. So Survival is basically just keeping you from getting hurt in battle. It takes you from taking in more damage, and you won't get hurt as much for about, I'd say about 10 seconds, 15 seconds at most. And then, lastly but not leastly, we got the APS protective system, which is this is actually the one that I used for my DPS loadout 2 last video. But we're going to go ahead and use it again for the controller, because it is actually a troller power supercharge, which actually does put shields up on everybody in group, as it was yourself, and it also gives you power over time. It's kind of similar to the battle drone in the gadgets power, which you do summon and it shoots the enemies and shoots little gun, you know, it's like a little battle drone that shoots at the enemies, you know, little like almost like a little grenade launcher type attack. Have a little drone that flies around. That actually gives power over time as well. But I've seen people use it for both sides, DPS and for their side, so it's actually pretty helpful. And that's basically all of them. I mean, you know, that's the troll loadout. If you find one that does work better, let me know. Like I said, you can mix the powers around. Like for instance, using the 5-barrel minigun for number 4 slot in your loadout. You can also use the grenade or the rocket launcher, which I think does the same thing. It either lowers enemy defenses, or it does actually lower the enemy's health. So they can't heal themselves, or they won't heal. So it's either that or that. So that's the loadout. So it goes like this again. 1 is multi-net launcher. Number 2 is reload. Number 3 is smoke grenade launcher. Number 4 is the 5-barrel minigun or the rocket launcher, whichever you choose. 5 is survival, and 6 is the APS or active protective system. That's the loadout that I choose to use for the munitions loadout. It actually is a pretty simple loadout. It's not very hard to use. It's very effective also, so if you use it the right way. But we'll really try to switch between the minigun and the rocket launcher, see which one works better for you. Like I said, but they both do kind of a different thing. I know one of them does. I believe it is the minigun that does the lower defenses, and then the other one is the rocket launcher is the one that keeps them from healing themselves. So anyway, I hope that does help you. Like I said, if you have questions, you know, don't forget to subscribe to my videos. I do have a clip called the Dcuo clip. I believe that's what it is for my videos for water tips. Just look for it. My name is actually ActionMan 2010. So people get a little confused. They always ask, so which is your actual name? So water tips is my character's name in the game. But the actual PSN name is ActionMan 2010. So not to confuse you, but this is just the name of my character in the game. Anyway, but I do appreciate it. If you want to know more, there's also a few things coming up here in the next few months. Of course, a few updates. I think the Superman Part 2 is coming up pretty soon. I want to say sometime this month, and I'm not sure the date. I heard a few things rumored on the 6th. I don't know if that's the forum thing, but check the forums. Don't take my word for it, because I'm not sure if as of yet can guarantee you that's the actual date. There's a few talk about our new system coming out. That's going to be getting rid of the R&D system for modding, so it will change all that. Seems very interesting. I want to say it's called augmentation, something like that effect. But anyway, it's a video that you can check out. There's already a few more on the YouTube, I think, posted up. Just keep checking the forums. Like I said, that's the one thing I heard as of yet. You might mostly just take it as rumors, I guess, right now, because there's nothing said in full. The actual date is going to be set in August for the actual augmentation or the reload, the remastering of the R&D system, so you won't have to use that as much anymore. And then there's also, like I said, that's Superman Part 2 and 3 coming out. So there's actually quite a bit of things coming out. Hopefully another DLC out soon. We've just been word of that too. We keep checking the forums, like I said. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Hope this does help you. And like always, keep playing DC Universe. Always make it fun for everybody. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.